Hey there, tubers. Today's video is going to be on this replacement hood for my 2012 Peterbilt 337. So what I've got here is a Titan aftermarket hood that's going to replace the factory hood on this truck. Now if you look at the factory hood, other than a couple paint chips and a little scratch on the side, it looks like it's in perfectly good condition, which from the outside it is. But the inside is a different story. It is breaking apart, and the glue that holds all these fiberglass pieces together has let go. And it's unfortunate because it really didn't need to happen. So I'll open the hood up here and kind of show you what's going on with it. So as you see right there, that's a pretty good crack. And it's kind of a poor design on Peterbilt's part here, because this air cleaner intake is very close to where the cables hook up, so you don't have a lot of meat between right in there. And over time, and I'm sure the guys have been letting the hood kind of drop as they open it, and it's just pretty much cracked it out and just keeps getting worse and worse. And I don't know if you'll be able to see it or not, but this seam across here comes down around. That's two pieces of fiberglass, and they glue them together. And as you might be able to tell, I'll try and get in here a little bit better. The glue all the way around this hood has let go. So I don't know whether the quality of the glue is such that it just doesn't last over time, or whether the temperature or what exactly has caused that glue to let go, but it has. And because it's mainly on this side, that fender has kind of dropped down. You can see how kind of flimsy it is, and it's allowed it to rub here on the fender. And it's not because it was hit or anything, it's just because that glue has let go. And I took this to a body shop, a truck repair body shop, and they said that they've never had any luck redoing the fiberglass on hoods and it lasting. So they said they could patch that crack up there, but they would not in any such way guarantee that it lasts. And then as for the gluing, they said they just can't get anything up in there to glue it and get it back the way it should be. That and the fact that they wanted about $4 grand to attempt it, whereas this hood here was half that. So I want to point out a couple of things appearance-wise that are different on this Titan hood than the factory hood. And one is this step contour on the side of the hood. Factory hood, no step. I don't mind it. It might actually look pretty good once I get the hood on there. But some people might not like that. Another thing is on the factory hood, this center section is raised up, and then the sides are one height. On this one, the center section and the far outside parts of the hood are the same height, and then there's two sections here that are raised. I don't know that I'll notice that, but I'll show you the differences here. As you can see, raised section, and these two sides same height. But other than that, to me, the hood pretty much looks identical. Now they do offer on the factory hood and this hood two different air cleaner intakes. This truck, I'll be cutting this one out. If you had, I think it's a PX9 engine, you'd use that one. But this hood is also used on multiple models. If you look at the tag on the hood, it says Peterbilt 335. The 335, the 337, the 348 are all the same hoods from the factory. So this hood will fit those three models. And one thing that they say when you buy one of these is that you need to dry fit like your headlights, your grille, and everything before you paint it or do anything to this hood. And supposedly, if you dry fit and for some reason holes don't line up or it doesn't fit properly, they will take this hood back free of charge. But if you paint it, modify it in any way, it's yours. So pulling the headlights and the grille are a little bit more involved than you think. The headlights not so much. The grille is huck bolted on, so you'd have to cut all that stuff off, pull that grille out, put it on there, and get some new huck bolts to see if it would work. The other thing is these side intake vents, they're plastic. Pulling those out, you're gonna have to be very gentle, otherwise you're gonna break those. And these pieces here are no longer made, can't even get them aftermarket, so you'd have to find a wreck truck to get those if you break those. So a little bit involved to make sure that that is going to work for you, but it'd probably be worth it unless you know for sure that it's going to work on your truck. But this video is going to be kind of over an extended period of time, because what I'm going to do is take this hood in to the body shop and I'm going to let them swap everything over and then paint it, and I'll have less in them painting, swapping everything over, and dealing with this hood than I would have to just have them repair this hood. And you don't want to buy this hood from Peterbilt. They want $8,800 for that thing, and this hood was a quarter of that. So definitely a price difference. So I'm going to give this one a shot. I'll try and get some footage at the body shop. They said that they were busy and that they might not have time to let me in there as they're working on it. So hopefully I'll be able to, but if not, I'll show you the after and then give you any information that the body shop says on if they had to modify anything, if things didn't fit right, whatever. And I'll get back to you with all that. I mainly want to do this just because when I was researching hoods, I found absolutely nothing on this model of truck or this manufacturer of hood. And as far as I can find, this is the only manufacturer aftermarket for this model truck. This place is out of Mexico. Their website just shows us pictures of the hoods, don't really give you much detail on them. And they do have an old video online on YouTube of their manufacturing process, but it's all in Spanish, and it really doesn't tell you much. So hopefully this video will get out and show you guys what to look out for and whether these hoods are worth the investment. So I'll get back to you in a little while and we'll continue on. There she is, all painted up. Looking brand new. Yeah, that turned out nice. So we'll get it swapped over and I'll let you know how that goes. Well, there's the final product installed. The paint turned out nice. Matches good and looks good. So on this hood, it is definitely an aftermarket hood, and it doesn't fit as nicely as I would like it to. Looking on straight on here, you can see slightly that this fender over here is a little higher. I'll back up some, maybe that'll help. And we fiddled with that and fiddled with that, and the best we can come up with is it's just the way that this particular mold was. And I don't know, you can get 3.5 over there, and over here it's about just over 2. So it's one of those things where you're supposed to dry fit these, and then if they don't fit exactly like you like them, call the manufacturer or the company that you bought it from and they'll send out another hood. It was close enough for me that I didn't want to deal with shipping this back and waiting for another one, and who knows, that other one might have fit even worse. So I just ran with it. On this side, this fender, let's see if we can get a good side shot here, doesn't come out far enough, and so I added some additional weather stripping on top of what the factory puts in. On this side lines up perfect, and also on this side, this seam here we ended up cutting, and it would have come back and it would have been right up against this at this point in here. So this from here down around here has been cut. So they got a little overzealous on this back edge on this side. And then this side we didn't cut at all. And you can see there's a decent gap there, but it's even wider here. So their jig is just a little bit off. I don't know that you would be able to get a perfect hood. Now this one, as I stated earlier, comes from a company out of Mexico, and as far as I know, they're the only ones that are making aftermarket hoods for these 337s. There's several available for that you can buy that have different names on them, but if you look at the part number, it's the exact same part number. So I think other people are buying these hoods, renaming them, and then reselling them. So I'm pretty sure this is the only one you're going to be able to get for this, other than the factory one, which the factory one is ridiculously expensive. I think Peterbilt told me $8,800 for it. So, you know, I'm at a fraction of that with this hood. So I'll open it up here and I'll show you what the inside looks like and what we had to do on that. Another thing to show you here before I get too far is that these don't line up exactly perfect. They are pre-drilled, but they're not off too bad. I think, you know, you can see it has just a little bit of a curve in it. So not too bad on that. But I'll open it up here and show you what we had to do on the inside. Be right back. Alright, got her open now. So on the inside here, we had to cut that hole out for the air intake. Depending on what engine you have, will determine which side you cut out. So this truck's got a PX6 in it. So you use the passenger side cut out. And then as for the grill, it went in pretty good. You can see that they've got cutouts for the tabs on each side. Those worked out. You've got holes drilled for the tabs on each side there, and then your huck bolt and bolt holes. And for the most part, those all fell right in the spot, so that was good. Now on the headlights, this is a protective cover which you can just take off here. I'll throw a clip in. I've got this off, but we had to trim the fiberglass around this to make the headlights fit. So they had encased it just a little too far, but that was easy to trim up and get those headlights in there like they're supposed to be. But all in all, I'm happy with it. This hood isn't much heavier than what the factory one was, but this one's fiberglass, so it's going to last a heck of a lot longer and will put up with a lot more abuse than the factory hoods. And since it's open, I'll show you another shot of the way the contours on the top of the hood are versus the factory. I got the factory one sitting on the trailer here. So this is the old one. As you can tell, pretty much everything separated on it. These are what they call Metten hoods, which is just another term for plastic. So the factory hoods are plastic, and then they glue these two panels together. And as you can tell there, the glue is completely just gone. It's not even there anymore. Completely separated, and you can see it's separating out. And it cracked there because the hood spring assembly attaches there and came right off the corner, and that was it. So here, hopefully the light's good enough, you can kind of see. On these hoods, it's raised in the middle. And then there's no step on the side here, which this new hood has. And then while we were taking this apart, we were trying to hold this piece, and this one just busted out. That's how brittle this hood is now. Why they ever thought to use plastic for a hood, it's beyond me. I mean, I'm sure they're gonna say it's weight savings, but it's not much of a weight savings. And then as brittle and worthless as these things are when they start falling apart, I mean, I don't even know how you'd repair it if you had a fender bender. I mean, you can see the stress cracks in this right there. They're just garbage. And it's not Peterbilt only. I mean, everybody's using these hoods. Mack, Kenworth, you name it. So I'll jump back up, put that hood back down, and give you a final shot on it. Alright, I got the hood down here. And in the shade, you can definitely see this line a lot better than the earlier shots I had there in the sunlight. But I don't mind it, and I don't think it looks bad at all. I mean, it kind of fades out here, right in here. So it almost makes the hood look like it's coming from a point and just kind of opening up, and flows good with this line and then the top of the hood. So I kind of like it. And then where this is fiberglass, when you put steps in it, that just makes it even more stout. So yeah, I'm happy with it. One thing before I forget is that had to do some trimming down here. As you can see, this sticks below the grill on each side, and the hood hinges are in here. So what they did is they notched up, notched back down, notched up, notched back down. And I'll step back here, you can kind of see it a little better. But it made it look like it had buck teeth when it had this piece here. So I opted to cut that out. Now in the future, if for some reason I don't like this, I can always just cut this straight across. So that's not a big deal. But I think it looks good with that centerpiece cut out. All in all, I'm happy with this. Obviously, there's a huge price difference between this and a factory hood. $8,800 versus $1,900. Plastic versus fiberglass. It almost makes it a no-brainer to go this route. If they're closer in price, I might hem-haw about it and maybe go with the factory one just to get a better fitment, you know, around it. But they're not even close on price, so this is definitely the way to go. So hopefully that helps somebody if you're looking at buying a hood. So if you have any questions or comments, leave them below. Otherwise, I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.